What are Salesforce licenses? We all know that Salesforce is based on multi-tenant architecture. So, if you imagine a apartment building uh, which different companies use, and your company is like only one tenant in that building. You have your own private office space, your own area which is completely separate and safe. But just like everyone else, just like every other tenant in that building, uh, they all use the same elevator, the same security, right? So, similarly, Salesforce is a multi tenant platform, and customers share the same core software and computing power, and that's where the licensing comes in. So, just like that, your license will tell you which parts of the building you are allowed to use. Similarly, in Salesforce, what features you can have access to. So, some licenses can apply to the whole org, like the company license, and some licenses can apply to an individual, like as an individual user, what you are allowed to do, what actions you are allowed to perform. So, licenses define what your entire Salesforce account gets, uh, and what each person can or cannot do within that org. So, in short, licenses define what your org gets, what accesses your org gets. Uh, so, we can categorize all kinds of licenses into two major types, which are settings licenses and then product licenses. So, first group is settings licenses, and these can include the actual permissions that can turn some Salesforce features on and off. So, like what features you want to keep and what features you want to disable. And there can be three main kinds, like platform licenses, which can control features at the org level, and then we can have user licenses, and every user must have one of these licenses. So this sets their basic level of access. And then we can have permission set licenses, which are extras. So you can assign as many as you need to give some additional features. um, so some Salesforce products like Heroku don't even have user licenses. They only use platform level licenses. And then the second category is product licenses. These are what customers actually buy. They come in two forms. First is editions. So this is your main package, like enterprise, professional, developer. It sets your baseline functionality of the org, and then on top of it you can have add-ons. So these are optional extra features you can layer on top of your baseline edition, and you can get more features with it. So each addition or add-on is really just a bundle of the settings licenses we talked about earlier. So under user licenses we'll talk specifically uh, about user licenses. So under user licenses we can have major subcategories in Salesforce. So under standard user licenses we can have Salesforce knowledge only identity, external identity kind of features. Under lightning platform we can have licenses related to platform logins, you know developer community limited access features. Under experience cloud license we can have features access related to external app, customer community, community plus, partner community. For chatter we can have chatter external, chatter free, chatter only licenses, and they comes with their own features and uh, capabilities that they can provide. For database.com we can have admin user, light user licenses. uh, for guest and site.com we can have guest user and site.com only. And for sites with unlimited logins we can have authenticated website license. So all these different licenses unlock different capabilities and are meant for different types of users. So these are all about like user licenses. And on top of it we can also have permission set licenses which can give us extra features that are not included in their main user license. uh, the good news is users can have as many of permissions set licenses as they want. And then we have feature licenses. So these feature licenses work the same way. They turn on any specific feature which we want, like flow, knowledge, chat, marketing, service cloud. uh, these are the small add-ons that you can attach to any individual user. And then in Salesforce we can also have usage based licenses. So these are the limits that reset on a schedule or decrease as you use them as per your usage. So there can be two types, like persistent and non-persistent. So persistent gives us a fixed number that stays the same unless your contract changes, but non-persistent works like credits. So they reset monthly or yearly or after a specific period. So these are usage based entitlements. So let's summarize. In Salesforce, licenses define what the org and users can do in Salesforce, and you can buy additions and add-ons, which include many type of licenses behind the scenes. And every user needs one user license, and we can add certain features on top of it using permission set and feature licenses as optional. And then we can also provision how Salesforce activates licenses in the production. And we can also have usage based entitlement track limits like logins or API usage. So that's the high level view of Salesforce licenses. Once you understand these, it becomes much easier to manage access and choose the right license for each person in your org.